It's like Sarah deciding she's going to get in shape and signing up for a series of crazy expensive Soul Cycle classes. Her sister loves spin class, so there must be something great about it. Never mind that Sarah hates group exercise and that the Soul Cycle studio is 40 minutes across town. Or maybe it's Megan who needs to make more money as a single mom, so she decides to take on a side hustle in direct sales. She's not really into the product and is mortified at the idea selling in front of a crowd. But her friend has been really successful at it, and she's sure she can be too. Or maybe you're an entrepreneur who dropped out of college because you struggled to learn in a classroom environment. You learned every single thing you know about business on the job through your own research, but when you need that learning the most, you decide that the best thing to do is pursue the one type of learning you absolutely hate. Friends, personal growth is supposed to be personal. It's not one size fits all. It has to be customized to you and the way you learn best, or it's never going to stick. Be strict about your goal, but flexible in how you get there. Sarah should have committed to putting on her favorite music and training for a race. She loves hip-hop and being outside, so she could have customized her workouts to her personality and achieved real results. Megan should have gotten a job at her favorite local coffee shop. She can pick up extra hours while the kids are with their dad, and she gets to chat with the people who come in and be in an environment that she loves. And me? It took a minute, and several $1,000s in non-refundable tuition, but I eventually recognized that I needed to learn this skill for my business the same way I'd learned every other skill. I asked myself, are there books I could read? Conferences I could attend? Could I hire someone? Could I be more honest about what I did and didn't understand in order to get clarity? The answer to all of these was, of course. Was it easy to learn about a topic I'm not particularly interested in without a clear outline about what to do next? No. Was it comfortable to admit to people that I couldn't understand the financials I'd pretended to comprehend before? Absolutely not. But what was the alternative? My grandpa's voice in my head rang out, louder than my negative self-talk. I had always figured it out before. I will always figure it out. So I got to work. I learned the difference between a balance sheet and a PL in a YouTube video. I went to business conference after business conference and sat down front for every session on accounting, even though it seemed duller to me than watching paint dry. At one such business conference, I happened to take a class by Keith J. Cunningham. I'm listing him by name in case any of you happen to struggle with this same insecurity. Find a way to see him speak live. I have never had someone explain business finances to me as clearly or as simply as he did that day. I literally cried like a baby because I finally understood things I hadn't before. I mean, who in the world sobs over basic accounting principles? Someone who thought she wasn't smart enough to ever comprehend them. That's the craziest part about not feeling like we're enough to achieve our dreams. The only way to prove that you are is to get yourself to the other side of doubt. That's much harder to do if you're following someone else's path. You need to focus on what has worked for you in the past and apply those ideas to this new venture. You also need to believe in your possibility instead of focusing on the probability. Not having the knowledge just makes you teachable, not stupid. Not being in shape just makes you moldable, not lazy. Not having the experience just makes you eager, not ignorant. Flip the script and force yourself to see the positive where you've only seen the negative. What are the advantages of not knowing, not understanding, not conquering, not having, not achieving your goals yet? The yet matters. The yet reminds us that we have a whole week, month, life ahead of us to become who we are made to be. You are enough today as you are. Stop beating yourself up for being on the beginning side of yet. No matter what age you are, yet is your potential, yet is a promise, yet is what keeps you moving forward, yet is a gift, and you are enough to get to the other side of it. For me, getting past this limiting belief in myself as an entrepreneur came with acknowledging all the things I had done instead of focusing on the things I hadn't. There's a great exercise for this I learned years ago that I think might be helpful for you if you're doubting whether you can do something. Write a letter to yourself from yourself. More specifically, write from your tenacity, from the part of you that never gave up, from the exact opposite place of your fear. Write from your self-assurance. Write from your heart and your gut and the piece of you who always gets what she sets her mind to. When I ask women to do this at our conference, there's always this moment of confusion. But I haven't done anything yet, they tell me. I don't have anything to write down. Sis, the problem isn't that you aren't accomplished. The problem is that you don't give yourself any credit for the things you have done. You need to write a letter from your truth to extinguish the lies about who you really are. So if you worry that you're overweight and out of shape, then write a letter to yourself about all the times in your life when your body was incredible. Did you play sports as a child? Did you carry a baby inside yourself? Did you grow another human life? Those arms that are too squishy and untoned, how many times have those arms offered love and comfort to other people? How often have those arms helped you care for your family or do your job or create your art? You think your dream is too big, too impossible? Write down all the times you did things nobody thought you could. I'm going to share with you the very first letter I wrote to myself, and I'll tell you right now that the original letter included a lot of cussing because A, I honestly never planned on anyone reading it, B, sometimes a well-placed F-bomb can fire me up, and C, I love Jesus, but I cuss a little. For today's purposes, I've toned it way down and removed the words that might have this book banned in several countries. The original letter still sits inside the spiral-bound notebook I wrote it in that day. I don't have a date on it, but I know I wrote it in the middle of my struggles with my worst insecurities about whether I was smart enough to grow my business. I wrote to me from my persistence. Dear Rachel, I am your persistence, and this is what I want you to know about me. I am a badass. I was born in pain and fear, and I fought my way out. I graduated early. I moved to a new city. I got a job I was too young to have. And then another, and then another. I built a company that shouldn't have worked, and then another after that. I wrote 5 books. I'll write even more. I took on foster care and raising 5 kids. I do stuff that nobody else can do in less time than anyone can believe. I am self-aware. I work hard on myself. I face the hard stuff again and again and again. I don't give up, not ever. Your fear may be powerful, but there is no defining force greater in your life than me, your persistence. You have 33 years to serve as an example of that.